Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Hey, we back. We are back. We are back. It has been an eventful time since we've last been on here, correct? But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. But first, before we do that, let me take care of business. It's been a few days since we done this, so I'm getting ahead of myself with a little bit of excitement. So let's take care of business first.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Today's show, the things that are said on today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
So, like I was saying, it has been a time since we last was on here. I've gotten threatened with account ban warnings and stuff like that, just like it happened on the other platform, the original platform. And I told everybody to go on the backup channel, my backup channel, that we would broadcast today's show from there, right? And so as I'm going to set everything up to start the live for today on that station, man, they wouldn't let me pass the AIDS verification for me to go live. I don't know if I should be flattered by that or upset by that. But in any event, that's why I'm not going or doing the show from that platform. All right. So hopefully, if you one of my regulars to come in and you see that somebody that's normally in here that's not in here, if you will, let them know. Just send them share the live to them. Let them know that we're meeting here today. Wow. Like I said, everything is it's been wild. It's been crazy in the trial with Puffy Jacket trial, right? He's trying to offer get a mistrial, and that's not working because they done found out that the Jane Doe that's on the stand, what she's saying is true. It's been validated. They got receipts on it. So that's not going to work for him. He's been in trouble. Puffy Jacket's been in trouble by the judge because he keeps making eye contact with the jury, and the judge told him not to do that. He continuously does it, and they feel like he's trying to, I guess, for lack of better words, trying to intimidate the jury into making a decision in his favor or whatnot on the case. And then you have him mouthing, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because I'm not in the courtroom, right? But allegedly he mouthed to Stephanie Soo, I think it's her name, or how you pronounce it, or so, it's Soo. But anyway, Puffy Jacket mouthed to her, I know you, right? Dimple Cheeks, good morning. Hey, I know I said the backup account, but they wouldn't let me get on there. So we going to rock it how we normally rock it, love. I'm glad you all are here, though. So he's doing that. So what again, if he has, and again, I don't want to say he don't have good attorneys. Here's what I want to say. If I'm his attorney, if I'm his defense attorney, I've got to pull him to the side and say, hey, listen, you've got to stop the antics, brother. Like, you already got us fighting an uphill battle in skates. So you've got to stop doing the antics because you're making it worse. You're making a, a tragically and horrendously bad situation worse, if that's possible. Hey Liz, good morning, baby girl. How you doing? So like, what is here? And again, this is just my thought. I think that Puffy Jacket is so used to having control of everything and everyone around him to the point where he cannot help himself. Um, he keeps trying to use antics that were once or that he would use when he was a free man, right? And that's what I feel. Demetrius, good morning, brother. How you doing? He says that ego won't allow that. Laugh out loud. Exactly, brother. That's exactly how I'm feeling. It's like that whole ego thing is just not allowing him to understand or to how can I say it? Like it's not seeping in his mind to the fact of, hey, you don't have control over this. You do not have control. Demo Cheek says, I'm so exhausted with this trial. It's getting crazier. It's annoying. But you know, once again, it's alleged that this week is going to be some more, things coming out. That's going to be, oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for that journal. I appreciate that, bestie. Thank you. It's being stated that it's gonna get worse for him as we move forward. You get me? So, and Jane Doe is still on the stand. If I know, let me make sure I'm correct. I don't want to tell you all any stories, but I believe she's on the stand today as well. But look, while we're doing that, thank you for the budding heart. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Liz. Liz, showing the love this morning. Thank you, bestie. I'm gonna let you all hear, and this sounds like it's maybe like 10 minutes long, but just listen to some of the things that's been going on and what we looking at or got to look at towards in the trial this week.
Day for the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Let's just get set up. Y'all, this is a huge day for the Sean Diddy Combs trial. We are going to be covering everything, but what is going on? The prosecution is set to gear up to destroy Diddy's mistrial dreams. Why are they a dream? Because it's just not happening. Why? Because what are the grounds? You're trying to say that the prosecution literally lied and made up stuff. We are directly live from the courthouse. Let me move to the left. Diddy is trying to say that the prosecution made up evidence and knew that Bonner lied and knew that those injuries were not from him. Now, there are many, many people who the prosecution did not call who were witness to what happened, but also there are people that were witnesses to the aftermath. What is the aftermath? Well, the text from Cassie to KK seemingly confirms Bonner's whole story. On top of that, KK did not say that never happened. KK did not say this or that. They were going back and forth about what happened. But you guys, there's even more. Remember if you look at the transcript, Bonner was talking about somebody named Rob Holiday. Rob Holiday and Bonner used to be like this. She considered that her brother, okay? Rob Holiday was actually friends with Diddy before he was friends with Bonner, okay? You know how in the friendship breakup, one person goes with the person with the money, the other person doesn't. But here's the interesting thing about what actually happened, okay? Rob Holiday, when he called Bonner, with Diddy right beside him, offered her a settlement. And he offered her a settlement. He offered her a settlement for everything that Diddy put her through. Our sources are saying that settlement was at least $1 million offer. How do we not know about this? How does the jury not know about this? Because if you look at the transcript, when Bonner tried to talk about Diddy's settlement offer, they kept saying, objection, 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 Your Honor. Why were they saying objection? Because if we knew that you offered this girl at least $1 million, some say north of $1 million, but at least $1 million, and what are you doing it for? Diddy is notoriously cheap. His house got raided because he didn't want to pay Little Rob $50K, and what he owed him for publishing for that flop of the album, the Love album, okay? But also, it does actually show that something happened, even though Diddy is trying his best to say that nothing happened. On top of that, with that settlement offer, it shows that the timeline, which might be off by a day or two, it 100% happened. Imagine the audacity. Imagine the sheer, the audacity, right? The sheer unmitigated gall to literally try to get a mistrial off in an event you know that happened. You know, let's say that those injuries didn't come from Diddy. Are there no injuries when somebody holds you up over a balcony, you're fighting for your life, and they throw you into furniture? Now you're saying the and but, right? It didn't happen. But if it did happen, I didn't injure her when I threw her into furniture. Diddy, you have to pick a lane. Again, the Rob Holiday phone calls, and that's why they were fighting to keep that evidence out. Now, they were successful because they said, and here's the thing why they were successful in keeping it out. They said that Rob was calling her to settle to keep her from filing a potential civil suit against Diddy. Okay? This is a criminal case, and civil suits and criminal cases cannot be combined. So meaning if there was another criminal case, maybe they could have brought it up, but the fact that it was a civil suit, you cannot bring up civil suits or civil litigation in a criminal trial, okay? You just can't.
So listen, I'm gonna pause it right there for a minute. A year ago, we started. Somebody said bias reporting. No, just facts, brother. If you can't accept it, that's you. I'm not here to make you sway one way or another, but I am here to say what's going on. So, but about a year ago, maybe a little over a year, but we reported this on this show. Hashtag I'm gonna say it. We talked about during the show when this allegedly came out before this trial even took place, right? About him throwing and what did she go by? Jane Doe. This Jane Doe that's on the stand threw her through the table on the or patio or balcony or what. I'm assuming it's a balcony because I think she was on the 17th floor, so had to be the balcony of Cassie's apartment. But in any event, it's already been stated long before we got here. We've already talked about that. We didn't know about him offering a settlement to her to not say nothing. You know, Dimple Cheeks says there are going to be a lot of technicalities. Prosecutors need to really do their due diligence. And I'm in agreement with you on that, Bessie. They still have work to do. Even though I've said on here, like, look, they've proven the Ricardo and all of that. It's one of those things where I'm just metaphorically speaking right now. But when you building a house or you're building something, right? You put that initial nail or screw in there, but you want to add some reinforcement to it. You see what I'm saying? And so by us metaphorically speaking, this is the time that the prosecution needs to put in the reinforcement, proverbial nail or screw. If you're gonna make this stick, there's no margin of error, or like they cannot afford to leave any loopholes open for them to get through. Now, with that being said, anything that he's being accused of that he did not do, we don't want him to have to suffer any time or anything for that. Only the things that he did do. And let's be honest when we say that, there's a lot that he did that he's not even being, charged with, right? Okay, and this person says the facts are that he was in New York, not L.A. I don't. I think where they're getting as far as when you get the location, I think they're talking about like flights and stuff like that. Um, for the how can I guess we can say freak offs on here. I'm assuming, stuff like that. And for they're basically calling that sapphic, right? But in any event, the fact of the matter is, whether it's New York or L.A., he's using his businesses to cover up criminal activity. You get me? So location doesn't matter. The comment you made is a mute point. It doesn't matter if it was in Wyoming. If he committed a crime in Wyoming and he used or tried to use money to cover it up, it's a crime, right? And that's where we at with it. So whether New York, whether LA, and a lot of his businesses were here in New York. I mean, we're in. I said here. I'm not there. In New York. So, and he, he did some dealings in LA. I'm sure, but it doesn't matter. Wherever crime took place, and he tried to cover it up with money or extort or what you call it. What's the word I'm looking for, people? It's Monday morning. We got to get started. Extortion. What is the other thing I'm talking? I can't think of it. But in any event, hopefully it'll come to me. But in any event, no matter where he was, that's a crime. Okay, that's a crime. So, but the thing about it is, this was stated. So, and she's not wanting any money. She's not wanting any fame. She's not wanting any. She don't have a book deal set to drop, and she's trying to promote that. You see what I'm saying? So, the main thing here, though, is that the prosecutor, and like Bessie said, the prosecution has to continuously drive this home. If you want a Ricardo charge, you've got to drive it home. In my eyes, yes, things have been proven, but I wouldn't, and I don't know how many of you all played sports before, but for those that have on here, where you're up on a team, but the coach tells you, hey, don't let up. Keep playing. Keep playing the game. Keep playing to win. Well, same thing the prosecution team needs to do. They got to keep playing to win. You cannot just think that you can just take your foot off the gas and that, hey, you got everything wrapped up, the game is over with, and we can just coast to the final. No, we can't do that. Dimple Cheek says any piece of evidence they have, they got to have all their I's dotted, T's crossed. Exactly, Bestie. Exactly. And there's still work to do. There's still work to do. You cannot rely on what you've already presented being the end-all, be-all for the case. You cannot do it. Let's keep going. Because the more evidence, the more receipts, then the more concrete you have of a case. Right?
Yeah, especially offers a settlement. Sorry, guys, these allergies are kicking my butt. Eyes watering, going crazy. It's Zyrtec season, right? I don't even have allergies, and this New York summer is getting to me. In any case, to make a long story longer, because they said it was to stop potential civil litigation and not potential criminal litigation, that shouldn't be allowed under the hearsay rules. Now, I do want to say that the prosecution, I think, could have made an argument that it was not just civil. Bono literally could have gotten Diddy charges for attempted murking. Why? Because what other intent do you have but to murk someone if you're holding them over a 17th floor balcony, threatening to drop them? Bono, she is a little thing, but she could have been too heavy for Diddy. I don't know how he was holding her up over the 17th floor, but they say crackheads because they said,
She claimed the incident happened in L.A., but he was in New York at the time. From what I heard, they found some receipt, but just listen.
He was always high. This was their own team said they always get monumental strength, right? So maybe it was the spirit of the Tucci that moved Diddy and compelled Diddy, okay? But the point of the matter is, I think the prosecutions maybe What's going on? I think the prosecution may be. What's going on? There's all these unmarked vehicles with like lights flashing. Anyway, right? An argument can be made that he did it to keep it from also going to criminal, because that was criminal action. So what do we have? Today, it's going to be the mistrial showdown, okay? A lot's going on in court today. Today is going to be the mistrial showdown. It is going to be proving, okay, that, and also for the prosecutions to say, for the defense to accuse the prosecution of lying and making up evidence. I think I know what's going on. Donald Trump said that he would pardon Diddy if he was treated unfairly. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Donald Trump is going to pardon Diddy for a number of reasons. The first being that Diddy was buddy with Mark Garagos. He's super tight with Mark. Tenny Garagos, one of his lawyers, is Mark's daughter. Ben Masalas, the Midas Touch, huge Democratic media thing. His father, Ben Masalas, was one of Diddy's interns. They're super tight. Ben Masalas' father, Kenneth Masalas, has been Diddy's longtime managing business lawyer for like over 20 years. They vacationed at each other's houses. They were super tight. Now, it is true that about a year ago, he got cut from that law firm. It is true a year ago he got cut from that law firm. However, okay, they're still, back then they were super tight. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Mark Garagos, Ben Masalas. If you don't remember, there were a lot of political rumors that Michael Avenatti and Stormy Daniels, remember the impeachment of Trump? That was spearheaded from Mark Garagos, right? Ron Burkle, Diddy's billionaire baby dad, right? That's the godfather to all of Diddy's kids. And it's also the person that helped him buy Revolt, that helped him with Sean John. Actually, all of his ventures, Ron Burkle and his private equity fund were the main investors in that. So Diddy came in as black owned, and true, a black person did own a portion of it, but Ron Burkle and his private equity funds were literally Diddy's godfather and guardian angel. There isn't any video up where Diddy calls Ron Burkle his, says that Ron Burkle threw him a coming out party because he just wanted to announce everything to the public. I'm just watching to make sure they don't go on without me. Okay, so where are we at? Ron Burkle, Ben Masalas, Mark Garagos, and a bunch of other Democrat heavyweights, literally, Trump feels, push that, and that's what the political streets are saying, okay? Go do your own research, but push them and Michael Avenatti and that Stormy Daniels in order to impeach Trump, okay? They thought that it was the last of Trump. Diddy even took their sides. I know Diddy and Trump are friends, or were friends, but Trump is incredibly vindictive. He does not forget any slights at all. The fact that that actually happened, it makes me think that Trump wants Diddy to kiss the rings, Trump wants Diddy to grovel, Trump wants Diddy to bankrupt himself, and he's still gonna say no. That's what I think. He's a June Gemini. When you got beef with them, it ends when everything ends. I'm just taking action. He's a June Gemini, and June Gemini's like, yeah, you can't be crossing them like that and think that they're just gonna play nice, right? So we have all that with what's going on, okay? So, but that doesn't mean that Diddy doesn't know that Trump's playing with them. And what do I know? If you guys are MAGA, let me know in the chat. Do y'all think Trump is partying this person? Well, what's going on with Elon?
Maybe,
I don't think that he can afford another public media thing right now, right? Because Elon and them are trying to get him out of here, or at least get him impeached. Because if you guys don't know, J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, who used to be Elon's and for PayPal, Peter Thiel actually funded J.D. Vance and got him in as, the press is going in, funded J.D. Vance and got him in as VP, right? If Trump gets out of there, J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, baby, Peter Thiel's the PayPal mafia, South African, Elon Musk, all this and that.
Okay, she talking political stuff. We not on that today. But I will say this. At one point, Vance was opposed to Cheeto-Leaning. I will say that. And the way that he did flip or turn and join, we've already said, we've thought from the beginning that there was going to be a moment to where he may turn and flip on Cheeto-Leaning just to take over as, pretender in chief. Hey, good morning, Jessica White. How you doing? Thank you for that Daily Heart Me. Where have you been, young lady? I haven't heard from you in a while. Everything good? No, to my man's that was saying, hey, he wasn't there. He was somewhere else. If if that's the case, because I'm not saying you lying because I wasn't there, so I can't I can't say either way. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. I call it down the middle, and here's what I can tell you. If that is indeed the case, then you need to tell his defense team to get to proving that. Hardcore evidence, receipts. That's the only way this works. I don't mean Xerox. I don't mean anything fake. I don't mean anything doctored. Don't need that no more. It's got to be authentic. Oh, they have? Okay, and what did the judge, hey, would you like, you want to come up in the panel? Or are you okay talking like this? We can go either way, bro. Whatever you comfortable with. Natty, good morning. Good morning. How you doing, bestie? Hope all is well your way, love. Thank you for that daily heart me. I appreciate it. I need that. Thank you. Okay, all right. So you haven't responded. Okay, so look, if they have, what did the judge decide on it or rule on that? I haven't heard anything about it. Just getting through payroll. Mondays are not my favorite. It's like, yeah, I understand that. That grind starts over on Monday, Natty, and it's hard. It's hard to get into the groove of things. It seems like Friday is so far away. You said Bad Boy reunion tour. That's what the judge said. Bad Boy reunion tour. I'm gonna look it up. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up, but I'm not finding anything. So that's why I'm asking you. Natty said behind bars. Nah, not yet. Not yet. Again, I think the Jane Doe is still supposed to be on the stand tonight. I mean today, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. You all, no, it's not on there. I'm still not seeing it. I'm still not seeing it. And in addition to the crazy, hold on, let me get this question. D was supposed to be at the Bad Boy tour, therefore could not have Dang. Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. Okay, so he was supposed to be at the tour and did not. Oh, dang. Okay, well, okay, so did his defense team already say that in court? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Joro, Jor, I'm not going. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce. But listen, they're going Joy. Perfect, Joy. That's what we say. You said today. So are you saying that? So they're supposed to say it today. They're going to bring it into the courtroom today and say that he wasn't there. He was on tour. Correct. I'm just making sure I'm following you all. I'm just making sure I'm following you all. Now, in addition to this, though, as you know, Friday. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. So we'll see how it play out today, right? We'll see how it play out today when they bring it up. We'll see how it go. We'll see what the evidence is. Like I said, if that is indeed true, just as we was just saying with the prosecution team, the defense team got to come with concrete evidence. They got to make sure they put that out there. You know, and in fact, I don't even understand why they haven't. If that is indeed the case, but if that is the case, and that's facts, today they got to drive that point home, but they got to have receipts to come with it. If not, we'll revisit this conversation. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll make sure I write y'all name down. Joy, hold on, Joy. Let me see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay. All right, got y'all written down. So, uh, hopefully that plays out today, and we go from there. If not, like I said, I'll be inviting you all back to the show. We'll discuss that. Um, Thank you for the popular vote and the heart puffs. I appreciate that, Jessica. I really hope you've been doing good. I really hope you've been doing good. Um, I'm gonna get personal on this because you already know. Uh, Last week at the trial, another name came up. I'm just gonna say the initials of his name, R.J. We'll say that. But those who know me and know my my connection to this, I've always said that our family believes that RJ and Chive is behind or had a hand in the unaliving of Whitney. Now, those that know that they uh, were dating at the time, had something going on. I don't know. I don't know. They had something going on. I'm gonna put it like that, right? And all things are alleged. It's alleged, right? But we believe that he had a hand in the unaliving of Whitney. And I'm going. There was this guy, the same. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to look up something. Yeah, what's his name? The same dude who got into it with Big Gene did a interview or something, I guess you could say, with this lady, and he made reference to it. Hey, Bessie, good morning. How you doing? He made reference to that, and I found that this is like the second or third person that said it. Even though, like I said, I've said it months ago. I told you all what we believe, right? But we don't have the concrete proof and evidence, and it's just very telling that other people are saying the same thing. I think Suge was one. Now this guy, I can't remember his name. Do not, whatever. Anyways, people we don't know, but they are. Well, Suge is on the inside, right? And he made reference to it. And I'm gonna play you. Hold on. Where this YouTuber says the same thing. Now the YouTuber, I mean, take it. It's just it's again. He's just trying to go viral, and that's fine. That's cool. But I'm just saying it's just the fact that he thinks the same thing. I found interesting. The fact that RJ wants to flee the country. Really ever since his name first came up in this, he's been saying he was going to go. Now this is nothing new. This is nothing new, because if you've been keeping up, you know that over on the Night and Day Network, they made reference several times on their platform about RJ and another guy, I want to say it's Lil Zane, uh, being in situations with Puffy Jacket, right? So we already knew he had dealings with him. But let's just listen to some stuff here, and I'm gonna have to skip because he brings up some things that I don't want to get my platform flagged for, so I'm gonna skip it a little bit and then I'll play it for you.
Katy Perry had to say in her Slave that she found on the corner.
It
was brought up in court today. They
Listen.
told Vanna, drug dealer Ray J.
We love
She
TikTok
said,
Shop.
I don't know if that's his name. It sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah, when I heard that, as a matter of fact, I think everybody gasped when
We
heard that.
gasped.
Because we still want justice for Whitney Houston. Ray J was Whitney Houston's gay best friend.
We love TikTok Shop.
Illegal substances, and it's a
What?
I'm gonna pause it right there for a minute. Hold on. What did you say, Dimple Cheeks? I am curious. Where is Al Sharpton? He's been very quiet. You know, listen. I think that Al got some doings too and dealings too that he's trying to make sure he doesn't get caught up in the mix of everything. I'm just gonna put it that way. I'm gonna say it that way. Who that? Katie. Hey, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that, love. How you doing this morning? Thank you for those TikToks. I appreciate that, Katie. Thank you. Thank you. My man's Justin. What's going on with you, brother? You doing good this morning? Katie says, good morning, doing good. She's at work. Okay. We'll try to make sure we don't keep you in no trouble. Get you in no trouble or anything, okay? I mean, thank you for joining in, even though you're at work. And Justin, thank you for coming in too, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for the roses, Justin. I appreciate that. He said he ain't lying. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I had an issue with this dude. It was the way that he came at Big Gene, right? Katie, thank you for the finger hearts, love. I appreciate that. Natty said, I just found the regional manager not to bother me. I just told the regional manager not to bother me while my show is on. Hey, you pulling rank. You pulling rank. Thank you for that perfume, Katie. She said, look, this serious business right here. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm with you, Natty. We're doing serious work here. I had an issue with this guy. And understand this. I'm not knocking nobody who's trying to, get their platform out there. I got no issues with that. But I do believe that you got to have some kind of decorum to you in order to even be taken serious, in order for your platform to even be respectable, you've got to have some kind of decorum. And so, even though he was yelling out stuff at Big Gene, and I'm not here to say if it's true or not true, that's not what I'm getting at. That's not my point. What I'm saying is, it's how you go about it. When I got a show planned, and I'm going to have a special guest, and I'm going to interview them, I don't go and yell all at them while they out in public and chant off the walls, just while they're currently being interviewed by someone else. No, I'll go up to them. Now, what the oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, his last name. I want to say it's Pittman. I think his name is Pittman, the guy he was talking about. But if what Pittman was saying is true, because he had interviewed the Pittman guy the night prior to this, then after Big Gene was done talking to Tisa Tales, go up to Big Gene and say, hey, listen, I interviewed this guest last night, and he said that while in Atlanta, at the certain hotel, I can't remember what it was, but at the certain hotel, you participated in holding people down and allowing them to be great. And I would like to get your side of the story on it. And then you just go with it that way. But you don't yell out like that. Like, it's different when you got credentials and you got, a big company behind you that, their platform is going to go on. It's going to live, regardless, right? That's different. But when you just a small content creator, then have some decorum to you. So that way people, even in Big Gene's case, wouldn't mind giving you the interview that you asking for. You understand? Just like, I hope he's still in here, Nashay. I think your name was Nashay and Joy. Just like we was talking. We may have a difference of opinion. We may have a different outlook on things. But I'm not going to, man, hey, y'all are still welcome in my platform, in my show. And it wasn't no disrespect. He enlightened me on stuff that I didn't know. And all I'm saying is they need to prove that. And as I was saying before, we don't want nobody being charged with something that they did not do. That's not justice. And when it comes to something like this, and it's this serious, of this magnitude, you've got to have facts over feelings. So if this man did not do something, I don't want him charged with it. But I'm not saying he didn't do a lot. And a lot of things that he did, he's not being charged for. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we want justice. In a nutshell, we want justice, right? But so back to this guy, bringing up RJ. And RJ has been crashing out. Good morning, Bessie. How you doing? He's been crashing out ever since his name came up. Now, I told y'all, I believe RJ was just trying to get back in the good graces of the machine. You know, Angel said he sure has. He's been wilding out, Bestie, hadn't he? Like, ever since his name came up. And he's talking about, I'm fleeing the country. I'm leaving. I'm going. I can't remember the country or wherever he said he was going. He's like, I'm leaving. Listen, I'm not trying to help. You know, repentant heart every day. Good morning, Bessie. How you doing? But if you know that you have done something, because like I said, our family believe you did do something to Whitney. We do. I don't care what nobody on the platform think or feel. That's our family. That's what we think. Cousin Bobby really think that. But here's the thing. If you know you did something wrong, you might want to contact Russell Simmons. That's where you probably need to go. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. I want you to stay here and face the music. I want you to stay here, and I want everything to play out. If he didn't have anything to do with Cousin's passing, cool. Cool. That's even better. But we don't feel that. Given what we know, we don't feel that. Okay? And so, ever since his name was called or stated in the Puffy Jacket trial, man, he's been acting a fool. And so, even with this small content creator, again, I don't know him, do not, whatever his name is, he got his viral moment because RJ responded to this. And I'm gonna play some more, but he actually responded to it. And the thing about it, the way he responded, I'm about to call his name. RJ is, let me tell you, who all remember the Versus thing, right? Who remembers the Versus thing that they had going on? I think that might have been during that time when we had the C19 thing going around, right? And they was doing a Versus where two artists would go against each other, song for song, kind of like a battle thing, right? And I know who he was going against. RJ was going against Mario. Well, there was another artist there named Little Sammy. And Little Sammy was singing RJ's song. And I'm going to be honest with you. He sang the song better than RJ did in this RJ song. And RJ was in his emotional, deepest of feelings. He was walking back and forth across the stage as if it was almost like, I'm going to tell you, this is how he was looking. As if it was a high school party everybody was at that he was throwing at his house. His parents was out of town. And he was walking back and forth, wanting to be cool, wanting to be the cool person and fit in with the crowd, you know, but at the same time, nervous about getting caught. That's how he's walking around. So, but in any event, he got into his feelings and his emotions because people like the fact that Lil Sammy sang his own song better than he did. Right? So that showed me right there. All that tough talk stuff, man, don't even come on. For real. So, but that's what he does to this YouTuber. And you gonna hear, I'm gonna play it, but he was talking big boy noise. And we all know that RJ wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight. He wouldn't bust a grape at a wine factory. So all that showed me was some truth was stated. Hey, bestie. Sorry, I know we were supposed to be on the other channel, but they wouldn't verify my age. So here we are. We came back on here, but I'm trying to keep it sensitive. I'm trying to make sure. I mean, keep it sensitive. I'm trying to make sure we do right here. So we're gonna play it. We're gonna finish playing it.
Ah, wait a minute. First off, congratulations to the YouTuber. He been wanting to go viral for years. Who knew all he had to do was take a trip up to New York?
Oh, hold on,
To
hold on,
go
hold on,
viral.
hold on, y'all. Let me pause this real because Jenny's here now. Bestie, Jenny, bestie, you remember when we was texting back and forth, and we was talking about the YouTuber that was getting into it with Big Gene, and you may have to go back to your text messages, but who did I tell you that he looked like or he favored to me? And this was days ago. Listen to what Storm said. Listen to what somebody in Storm show says he looks like.
He making a name for himself. He done been choked in the elevator by Gene Deal. He done came a long way from push this shit out.
We love TikTok Shop.
He done came a long way.
Egg, grocery, and
Come
gas.
on. Commercial. Let's get through this. Okay, there we go.
He done came a long way from telling somebody to push this shit out
We
on the
love TikTok Shop.
steps to getting kicked out of homeless shelters, choked up by Gene Deal. I'm low-key proud of. I'm low-key proud of. This just goes to show that no matter how low you stoop, hold up.
I want to get to that part. Oh, I should have played it.
Cocktail because Clive
All right, let's see if this is it.
If you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, you too can go viral. Okay, let's keep listening.
says that he gave her a fatal cocktail because Clive Davis allegedly had an insurance policy on her, and obviously when these celebrities pass
Stop. What have I been telling you all? What did I tell you all? I'm talking about to my news crew members and my loyal listeners. What have I been telling you that my family and I think when it comes to the unaliving of Whitney? Who did we tell you we thought was involved? And I'm not saying that this YouTuber know what he's talking about. He's giving his opinion. It's an opinion. It's just the fact of when it's people who we have no clue who they are. I don't know this man from a can of paint. I don't know Suge from a can of paint. But these people have made statements that solidify and clarify what my family and I have said. Natty said, yep. Jenny said she was set up by RJ and Chive. Exactly. Jessica White said Ray and CL. Exactly. That's what we've been saying. Like, I wish that Bobby could come out and say what he really want to say. Okay, come on, man. I'm gonna start crying, man. Hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Hold on, let me stop. Let me calm down. I'm about to start crying. Hold on. Let me Thank you for the let him cook. I appreciate that, Natty. Hold on. Y'all give me a minute. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Because you got to understand something. It goes not only with Whitney, but I'm talking about my little cousin too. I'm talking about Bobby Chris. Jenny said, me too, bestie. But I fear what will happen for him for real. Yeah, and that's exactly why he won't. Don't get me wrong. Man, cuz get to the edge. He gets right to that line. He gets right to the end of the cliff, edge of the cliff. But then he comes back. And he'll stop talking. But it's just telling how people we don't even know. It's one of those things. It's like it validates that we're not crazy in what we're thinking. Is what I'm getting.
That's the way that music sell like crazy. And Whitney Houston was supposed to perform that night, and we know that her performance skills just went down the drain. So Ray J, the feds are watching you.
But why did they say the drug dealer today was Ray
We love
J?
TikTok
You
Shop.
think it's the same guy? She's trying to say it's not, but you thought it was.
Absolutely, I believe it's Ray J, the singer. And if I had one wish, you need to
it
come
does.
out the closet.
He loved
That's
her,
what
man.
I wish, and I do believe it was that Ray J. What other person in Hollywood has the name Ray J? Nobody. It was him. You've been pushing the opioids and stuff.
Oh, we love TikTok Shop. We love TikTok Shop. See, because I want to get to the part where, hold on. Oh, man. I hate when I be getting emotional. I'm going to try to fast forward and
This is
see.
how I lowered my...
Hold on.
I mean, listen, he got balls. He got balls. I give him that. I
Talking
give him
about
that.
YouTube.
Celebrity Scandal, let's say there's another rumor that Tisa got banned. Sean G or She Showed.
She
or I
didn't
guess
get
you mean
banned.
She showed
He started
video.
the
Sean
same
G showed video
YouTuber
of her
started
saying,
that rumor.
John Doe's name. Not sure if it's true. Oh, I don't know. Wow. Right. It's like not the, you know what I'm saying? It's like not the elephant in the room, not us
listen.
saying the obvious. You just know, like, see, y'all know somebody like me, I have to be careful on how, like, I say stuff like
Hold on, I'm going to get back to this, but I'm telling you, man, like it just something never set right when it happened, right? Something just never sat right when it happened, and we was just all of us was just like that. It don't add up. Cause you gotta understand, at this time, they weren't together no more. And cousin Bobby had moved on. He's married and he, got a new family and all that. Oh, hold on, Jenny said, if you get what I'm saying. Hold on 1 second. I think I missed what you said. Hold on. Oh, yeah. You could see it's eating him up. Yeah, he's crashing out, bestie. He's crashing out because he know. Man, sorry, man, he's scarred. I should have put a hat on. My scars from wrestling are showing. But ever since it was like something weird, man. Something weird was just like over the whole family. Because, like I said, even though they weren't together, he still had a great deal of love and respect for her, and we all did. And Bobby Chris, like, everybody felt like we needed to gather around her because she was like that. They were like best friends. They were mom and daughter, but they were like best friends. You get me? You see? And they just didn't. It was. Jenny said, "Those are trophies, bestie. Your scars." Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. Hey, that's a career right there. A crazy career. Dimple Cheek says, "BB, while is no saint, he definitely was painted." Yeah, he was. He for years, and again, I love him. I'm gonna continue to love him, good or bad, no matter what he does. But I won't sit here and lie just because of who he is. I'm not gonna lie to you. He did have his struggles. He didn't do everything by the book, you know. Dimple Cheek says BB always was accused of getting her on. Yeah, he was, and that's just not the case. See, that's just so much the media put. And no disrespect, you know I love you, cuz, but they painted her to be the sweetheart, the darling, right? When they put her out, and that was all Chiv's package right there. He packaged her in that way, but understand that he already had dealings with uh, her mother and what you call it, uh, Dion and all of them, right? So Dimple Cheek says, I love me some Whitney, but let's keep it real. She was from Paterson, New Jersey. I clap because that's facts. And because you're on point. That's how he packaged her and put her out. And it worked. Don't get me wrong. It was a very successful thing. But Bobby he didn't get her on that. Bobby had already, but it fit the narrative because Cuz had already had his falling out with New Edition. And he had already been painted to be the bad boy, quote unquote, already because of some of the actions that he did or demonstrated during some performances at certain concerts in certain states, and. But so the narrative was kind of already put there, and it was like it was a fire, and they just poured stuff on it to make it the flame bigger, and so that's how they painted him. But really, in actuality, what you already had was two people who were already uh, products of the street. What I mean by that is the street life wasn't something they didn't know about, and so in the beginning when they first started talking, Chive didn't even want her with him. They didn't. It was if I could correlate it to something that's more recent, it would be how J Lo's camp and people didn't want her with Puffy Jacket. You get me? The only difference is I don't know. J Lo, she say she was out there. I don't know. She might have been street smart. I don't know. Jenny says they were on that life before fame hit. That part right there, bestie. That part right there, bestie. She already had this. And to Dimple Cheek's credit, and like she stated, Paterson, New Jersey, bro, that ain't Beverly Hills. You got to be rough around the edges. Shout out to Paterson, New Jersey. No disrespect at all. In fact, all respect due. But you got to be tough. Right, Jenny. And that TV show just amplified the struggles. It did. And how many times have I said that we all felt, including them, that TV show was ultimately the downfall and the demise of their marriage? Because it allowed all of this dysfunction that they had and all of that to play out in front of the world. Jenny said 1,000 times and more. Right. So you are so right, bestie. Like it did. It really did. So to sit here and say that he got her on, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Well, she did. I have to keep it $150. She wasn't at her best at this time. The voice wasn't the same. The quality of life wasn't the same. And I'll let y'all in on another secret. she made it well known that she didn't like Puffy Jack at all. Period. For nothing. Dimple Cheek says BB had real love for her until today. He still do. I've yet to see a current interview with him. I have to find it. I'll send you one. He did one, and they were actually talking about this. And he says that he really was just wanting to get her to love herself like he loved her. And you got to understand, man. This from her unaliving to Bobby Chris's unaliving to even Bobby Jr.'s passing. Like, it was like rapid succession of just bad things happening to Cuz, man. Like, and then you had what was the girl? She went by the name Superhead. I can't remember her name. But anyways, that was what she was known for. But when Cuz was down bad, man, she posted, he was staying with her, and she posted videos. She took videos of him sleeping on her couch. And I mean, Cuz was in a bad way. He was in a bad way. And she put that all out there on social media, man. Like, and then Cuz came out. He did an interview on some show. I can't remember what it was. But he did an interview, and then he made the comment that he has sexual relations with ghosts in the house that he lived in here in Georgia. And people were just, I mean, it was one of those things where it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was so bad. It was really bad. Like, people was really on him. But yo, shout out to Cuz. I love him, man. He got his food. He got his spices and doing the food thing going on. He's married. He's got a baby with his wife and stuff like that. He got kids with his wife. And I mean, it's just, I'm glad to see where he is right now. And you know, no matter what happens, no matter what good he does, man, he's always going to forever be tied to Whitney and be painted as the bad guy. And he wasn't. I really wish there was a way that I could take some of you all back with us in time and be a fly on the wall and just let you see how it really went, like the actions of them, because what you see and what you hear in the media is not it. It's not it. It's not it. It's not it. And the thing about it, what can we do? Because this realm of social media is bigger than we are. And then what can Cuz do? Because he understands the industry and he understands what comes with it. And if he says what he wants to say and what he should say, there will be grave consequences for him. Let's see what's going on in court. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I'm sorry. My emotions got in the way. We supposed to be getting to RJ crashing out.
You know, I have to be careful on how I say stuff like that. But certain people can get away with that. Certain people can. But I gotta, wow. But I can't say you lie.
Yeah.
Lashima
like
said,
yeah.
has been doing the most lately, including dragging you his channel. I don't care. I'm still gonna talk about him because he's viral. This is what he wants. He should be happy. Did Tisa get banned? I don't know.
Tisa did not get banned.
Being no hater now. Don't
Hold on,
start.
y'all. I'm trying to get to Ray J's part, and then we're gonna check and see.
Absolutely, I believe it's Ray J, the singer. And if I had one wish, you need to come out the closet. That's what I wish. And I do believe it was that Ray J. What other person in Hollywood has the name Ray J? Nobody. It was him. You've been pushing the opioids and stuff.
Okay. All right, dude, calm down now. And I wanted, man, Jenny, I can't find it, but I wanted to hear.
Both have like that raspy voice.
Okay, here it is. Listen, Jenny.
No, anyway, with that being said, this was hilarious though. He kind of sound like him too. They kind of both have like that
it was Ray J.
Hold on.
Now, somebody said he looked like Keenan the King.
What did I
Ray
tell you?
J was brought.
Oh, he do look
What did I
like
tell you,
Kale.
Bessie? He looked like Kale, man. He looked like Kale trying to be a thug. I told you, listen, when I first seen this dude, all I could think about was, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? That's all I see. That's Kale. It isn't, I mean, they look like they could be brothers. Kale's parents, somebody need to check that out.
He do look like Kale.
I told you. Look, man.
Now, anyway, with that being said, this was hilarious.
This
though.
guy,
He
I
kind of
love Orange
sound
Thug.
like him too. They kind of both have like that raspy voice. He says doing the ABC interview should be on later. Okay, cool. But yeah, anyway, I don't know who the Jane Doe is. I know who we all suspect it to be.
Yeah.
But you legally can't put that out there. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, so Ray J
Yeah, I
responded
did.
to all this, okay? And he said,
We're about to get the RJ.
he said, WTF. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now I had enough. I'm about to do my final crash out for real. Come on, Ray, crash out. Don't talk about it, be about it, Ray.
Hey,
I
Onyx,
need Ray
how's
to
it going,
crash out for
bestie?
real.
Thank you
because
for
we
that
need some
heart me.
comments.
How you doing?
I mean, some content. So don't talk about it, Ray. Go full crash out. Don't.
Hey, you gonna
don't
do a
talk
live
about
today?
What you're gonna do? Don't say what you're gonna do. Be about it. Be about that action and be about that work. I want you to put the pedal to the metal,
Dr.
Ray.
Rashida, how you doing?
Bravery is
y'all.
not the
We got-
absence
we
of
got a,
fear, but the
commercial.
ability.
What did you say? I'm here, present, working on being accounted for. Hey, just listen. You know I'm about to tell you. First, I want you to lead with this. Hold on, people. I'm talking to my bestie, Onyx, right now. First thing I want you to do, Onyx, bestie, is to always remember you matter. You matter. You are somebody. Let that be the basis and foundation that you build everything upon. Secondly, I want to tell you something. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Let me tell you, if you didn't have a purpose, you would no longer be here. But you have a purpose. You have a purpose. Hey, bestie, how you doing? Thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate it. Talking with JoJo, and I'm talking to Dr. Rashida. Thank y'all so much. You definitely have a purpose here, and you definitely influence people. And I'm going to tell you, because I done dropped in your lives. I done been in your lives. And I see the atmosphere that you've created. I see the interaction with people on your panel, how they interact with you. And so you got to understand what you doing. That's therapeutic for other people. And I'm going to say this in closing. I'm going to say this in closing. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, even if you just need to talk. You know? Yes, musical therapy is always best. It's always best. But I just want you to know that this is a platform and we don't know each other. We never met each other. But at the core of it all, God wants us to love. And you're loved. You're loved. You're loved for your energy. You love because I see you care about other people. In fact, sometimes it's even detrimental because you put yourself last when you should be first. Thank you for that, Forever Rosa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Onyx. But you give selflessly of yourself. You be there for others. when it seems like nobody's there for you. You get me? Oh, Bestie, talking with JoJo. Thank you for the rainbow mini star. I appreciate that. So, with that being said, Bestie, I need you to know something. Just because we don't know each other, just because we don't live by each other, don't mean you cannot reach out. It does not mean that you cannot just hit me up and say, hey, G Smooth, man, this is what I got going on, and I don't see no way out of it. Keep your faith. Keep your faith. Do not sit there and let it manifest inside of you, because that could lead you to situations and decisions that's unhealthy. As a matter of fact, I don't care. As a matter of fact, here's what we're about to do. We're about to pause in the middle of the show, because I feel like this is what we need to do. Let's bow our heads. Everybody that can hear me, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to thee in prayer to just ask that you give our sister Onyx strength, Father. Father, we just come to you and ask that you place your hands upon her and heal her. Heal her physically. Heal her mentally. Heal her spiritually, Father. Father, we know you hear her crying now. Father, we know you know her trouble. She don't have to share it with us. You know, Father, because we know you are present at all time through every crisis, every situation, in the good and the bad. You remain the same. Your love never sway either way. So, Father, if it be thy will, if you can, please bless her with discernment. Cast anything that's negative in her life out of it, Father, so that her life may increase with joy, peace, prosperity. Father, we ask you for these things in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Let us all say, amen. 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 We love you, Onyx. We love you, Onyx. You're welcome here anytime. This is what this platform is for. This is what this show is for. We can talk about all of this celebrity stuff, and we can have disagreements and all that, but when it comes to somebody that need help, we can shut this down, and we can work on that. I'm glad you're here, love. I'm glad you're here. Ray J about to crash out. That's what Ray J crashing out. And so you heard the tough talk. You've heard the tough talk in the beginning. I done had enough. I'm about to do my, hold on, let me get this nitwit.
Now I done had enough. I'm about to do my final crash out for real. But this one is for my kids and for my mom, pops, and Brandy, my niece. If something happened to me, then so be it. The truth matters more in the long run. I'm talking to everybody who played with me this week. And sent me threats. You know who you are. And continue to try to bully and manipulate me just being you, been paying me to be quiet. All right, listen.
Any event, man. All right, okay, hey, have a blessed show, love. Have a blessed show. And just remember what I'm saying. We're here if you need us, okay? At any time, any moment. See what I'm saying? First of all, yeah, that's Brandy's little brother. You're welcome. You're so welcome. If this dude don't sit down, that's Brandy's little brother. And it's just not going to ever be anything else. His claim, don't get me wrong. He's been on a couple of hot tracks. He's got a couple of hot songs himself. But this hashtag, I'm going to say it, and we're going to say it. What made him so famous was a Smex tape with a witch. That's it. That's all. That's it. you know. But yeah, we're gonna play more. I had to say that because I can't believe trying to crash out like that.
Go full stop. Who caught that? That was a Beyonce quote. Who caught that? Lil Jones caught that. Yes, yes. It's all these random things I have in my head. Anyway, be about it. Don't let nothing and nobody stop you from crashing out, Ray. Don't let your mama stop you. Don't let your daddy on the piano stop you. Don't let your sister stop you.
Yo, daddy on the piano. That's funny.
Don't let nobody stop you. Be about it and be about that action.
Yeah.
Brought up in court today.
So now, the thing about that is, Ray J knows the rules. He knows what he signed up for. You know, well, I say signed up for. His parents sacrificed him for, as well as his sister. As well as his sister, because we still can't let her live down the fact that she unalived somebody in a car wreck. Okay, let me see what we got going on. Let's see if court started. All right, 9 minutes ago. 9 minutes ago. Who was that? Oh, prosecution. You wrote, "I don't want to feel obligated that you'll stop paying my rent." And this is Jane Doe on the stand. Jenny says Brandy's never released the letter Whitney gave her. She didn't. She sure didn't. But we know what Whitney was doing was from what's been told to us. She was letting her know about Chive and how he steals the money from artists and stuff like that. His shady dealings. Jane Doe is on the stand. Yeah, that warning. Yeah, that warning. Perfect way of saying that. That warning. She says, "I don't want to feel." The prosecution asks her, "You wrote, I don't want to feel obligated that you'll stop paying my rent. What did you mean?" Jane Doe says, "The guilty, trippy things that he would say that I had to perform," and we know what she mean by perform. And we also know they leaked the audio of one of the conversations, our messages that he left her. Prosecution says, "For how long had you felt that?" Jane Doe says, "Since I got the home in April 2023. More currently, and this was 2 minutes ago, the prosecution says, "Play this exhibit." And it has Puffy Jacket's voice says, "This is a true open relationship. Why do you have to make it a problem? Now I'm sick." That's what he said. Prosecution says, "How did you reply to this voice message?" Jane Doe says, it says, "I call me back." I'm not sure what she means. I call him back, or call back, or call me back. I don't know. Then we had a FaceTime. He said all the things to calm me down. Okay. Refresh. See if we got more. Okay. Prosecution says, What did you send? What did you send, Sean, Puffy Jacket? Sorry, from the plane to New York." I don't know what that guy. Maybe they're typing too fast, right? So what does that say? Cinderella Dreamer says, "Free Puffy Jacket." Dimple Cheek says, "And to think in the 80s, 90s, it was assumed Whitney was diabetes it girl." Yeah, absolutely. Money Matt says, "BLKs need to be concerned with work and dads in the home." Yeah, we do need more of that. I don't know if that's supposed to be a jab, but I'm BLK. I work and I'm in the home with my baby. So, not really sure what you meant by that, but irrelevant. I mean, it's not irrelevant. You're right. What you're saying is true. It's a thing, but it's irrelevant for what we're talking about now. Uh, Dimple Cheek says she was trapped. Yeah, yeah, she was. She was. So I'm not sure what that question mean or what the prosecution was getting at when it says, "What did you send?" Maybe it's what did you send Puffy Jacket from the plane to New York? I don't know. She said a photo of my outfit. Now stop. I want to pause right there. I want to say this because remember Jay Ello was saying that back when they had their breakup and going on, like he was controlling. He had to approve whatever she wore. Again, the leopards and the spots. Cinderella Dreaming says there's right and wrong, but these people were accepting Puffy Jacket money. Um, Prosecution says, where were you planning to wear it? Jane Doe says, to dinner. Prosecution, what did Puffy Jacket send you? Jane Doe says, he said, we're going to dinner. Prosecution said, did you? Jane Doe said, a late night lounge thing. Prosecution says, I'll read this for you. You wrote, I miss, okay, miss hard guy body part. How about that? Jane says, and I wrote, yes, I have my passport with me. Prosecution, then what did you write? Jane said, I wrote, you turn me on so crazy. Can't wait. Prosecution says, after the flight took off. That's the question. After the flight took off? And Jane says, I got a message from Puffy Jacket. All right. Prosecution, what did Puffy Jacket ask you? Jane Doe says, where Sly was. Then he asked, entertainment or movie night? Let me know. I'll get a hotel. Prosecution says, how did you react? Jane Doe says, I felt upset and a little defeated. Prosecution, what did you send next? Jane Doe, baby, just got Wi-Fi again. And again, for those that's new here, we're just reading um, things that are being said in court, and as real of time as we can. And sometimes there's a delay. Prosecution says, what did Puffy Jacket write? Jane Doe, he said, check red phone, the other message he'd sent me. He said, I have a surprise for you, just one. Prosecution says, what did you, or ask, I'm sorry, prosecution asked, what did you take it to? What did you take it to mean? Jane Doe says that there'd be somebody new, and then she starts sobbing. Prosecution asks, who? And Jane Doe says, an entertainer. I hated it. So, whereas she was looking for an honest and true date, he was thinking about, hey, let's just, get freaky like we do. I'm assuming. That's what I'm taking from. Okay. So far, it's not updated yet.